Good afternoon or morning, everybody.
Good afternoon. I'm a bit late, sorry.
Good morning.
Tomato.
Yeah. A bit red around the edge.
Okay. Did you have a nice time at the beach?
Oh,
Matching can.
Yeah. It was lovely, yeah. Mrs. is fried, so she's not doing much today. Normally she goes brown, but she's overdone it. So
Okay, yeah. So have you still got summer over there?
That was cloudy today. We picked her up though. Yeah, that's normal now.
That was it, one day.
Yeah. Get it while you can.
Though. It's warm.
Yeah. What's the temperature?
I really have cooked chili. I put a pair of shorts on this morning. I'm freezing. Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome to RVTV, everybody.
Good morning.
Last day of the season.
Thankfully.
Yeah, without further ado, Leeds versus Spurs.
Oh, I know.
Predicted lineup: Forster, Sanchez, Longley, Davis, Royal, Porro, Skip, Basuma, Son, Richarlison, and Kane. Have I got too many players in there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nah, spot on.
I was lucky.
Yeah.
Mark Swift, get your dress, mate. Yeah, I will. Wendy at the weekends, that's me. And Alan Sibley, morning. Oh, you get everywhere, Swifty. Ain't that the truth now? Okay, so
I was nearly the same as you.
Sorry?
I was nearly the same as you. I got Foster, Langley, Sanchez, Davis, Emerson, Højbjerg, Basuma, Skip, Son, Kane, and Kulu.
Yeah, I think Højbjerg's going to come back in.
Yeah. He talked about Højbjerg in his press conference, didn't he? Saying he'd trained all week, so I think he will play. To be honest.
Really? Okay, that's a shame.
And that's a Dane speaking.
Exactly. I was kind of hoping that we'd see a bit more of Skip and Basuma. But yeah, anyway. So who wants to start? What do we think?
Yeah, that might well be it. I think it's too late for Richarlison to show up and do anything. Even if he scores a hat-trick today, I still think we should get rid.
That's an expensive mistake.
It is another expensive mistake, isn't it? Yeah. Do we think that he will come good? Or, apart from you, obviously, Simon, Tommy Tomato and John? What do you reckon?
I think he's been unlucky with injuries. He's always put in 110%. He's sort of the Lamella factor, hasn't he? He's worked hard enough. He's been a shithouse. He's wound up oppositions. He's got the crowd going. He's got the team going on occasions. It's been a bit underwhelming, but he's never been able to get a regular run in the team, either through Conte not picking him after he's had good games or injuries. He just hasn't ever been able to get a sustained period of time. And as we've seen time and time, some players need 3 or 4 or 5 games to get into the groove, don't they?
Yeah.
Come on, Brian.
Yeah.
As he showed in the World Cup, he's a class player, and he give him chances and he'll take them.
Yeah. Very true.
He scored more offside goals than, sorry.
He hasn't shown that this season, though, has he? Like, we've given him loads of chances and he hasn't taken them.
He's got more offside goals than he has goals, hasn't he? So
he's clinical when that offside flag's up, isn't he?
Always offside. He falls over and if you fart near him.
Obviously. I'd like to say morning to Alan Sibley, Mark Swift, and the one and only Mr. Daigle.
Brian.
Hoe gaat je Nederlands, Brian? He's in Amsterdam at the moment. So.
Is he?
Yeah, hopefully she'll be linking up with him tomorrow.
Nice
one.
Him and Mr. Kiriakou.
You've got bank holidays over there, haven't you? This weekend? Yeah, we haven't. Yeah. No, we've got one next weekend.
Oh, okay. Right.
Don't know why.
It's in England, though, isn't it?
Eh?
It is in England, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
In England, not in Ireland for some reason. Yeah.
But yes, so luckily the sun is shining here. I hope it will be sunny as well tomorrow. But yeah, okay. So a season to forget.
Yeah, sooner the better.
Where Yeah, I can't figure out how it got so bad under a decent manager, how it got so toxic. Obviously, he didn't get the players he wanted, and he was never shy in coming forward about it. But you would have thought, as a professional footballer, you work through that, you play through that. Some of the mistakes that I've seen this season, some of the pitiful performances, I haven't seen the like since maybe the 90s. But in the 90s, it was fun because we, Aussie RD-less 4-1-5. We played attacking football. We never sat back soaked up like we have with Mourinho and Conte.
Even under George Graham, we had Ginoli. The rest of them were defending and just give him the ball and see if he could do something special. We had that excitement. He got you off your chair, didn't you? And you could hear the clattering of the chairs when everyone stood up whenever he got the ball, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't get that when Ben Davies is bombing on down the left there, do you? Everyone sits down because they know he's going to fuck up the cross or hit the first man.
To the bar,
yeah. Bless him.
So it's a tough one, but I wanted to release my inner Guns N' Roses. Where do we go now?
Wow. We're caught in a perpetual loop like that bit in the Guns N' Roses song. Wow. Don't know where we're going.
We only wait down.
Have another guest to come in. Haz.
Hey, you're right.
How are you?
You're right. Yeah.
Good.
I'm glad today the season's ending today, to be honest.
We all say that, but tomorrow we'll be like doing the Charlie Brown walk because there's no football. We'll be like, oh my God, what am I going to do for like 2 or 3 months without any football? We're so looking forward to that point on the horizon, but tomorrow I'll be like, oh God, what am I going to do all summer?
We've got the World Cup.
I didn't think of that, to be fair.
World Cup coming up in July.
Well, the women's?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is that?
Australia, New Zealand.
Bloody hell. Okay.
Which I'm really nervous about because a lot of our players that won the Euros, they're out injured. So I'm just like, oh God.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think our very own Bethany England will make it?
Yeah, I think she'll be in. She's done all right, hasn't she? She is Spurs by herself. She can't stop scoring. She's done really well. I don't know what she's doing at Spurs.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because from what I've heard, I haven't actually seen her play, but from what I've heard, she's brilliant.
Yeah, she's good. Must be a
Mark.
So Haz, where do we go now? What do you think? I mean, what is it? 50 days now without a manager? No DOF. Women's team has no manager. A chairman who's more concerned about selling cocktails to Beyonce fans.
Yeah, this morning. Yeah.
What? Where do we go?
Well, I feel like to them the football's like secondary, and it's like we're just more of like a hindrance. I know it sounds weird, but so we become like from a football club to like a corporate multi-sports events company. That's what it feels like to me. But in terms of the football, I can only see it getting worse. I hate to say this. I've been saying this for months that we're a mid-table team, and I think the Spurs team now mirrors the team I used to watch as a kid a lot, because you'd had like two or three like say good play. Also, Kane was say like the Lily King back in the day or the Ginola back in the day, and then you had the rest of the team were just average players or even worse. And I feel like we've gone a full like 180. Is that what they call it? Yeah, 180. And I feel like it's like we're back to where we were in 01, except we have a bigger stadium, we pay more money, and there's more concerts and stuff like that. But in terms of the football, it's basically the same. This is why I've been champion for managers like Sean Dyche for ages, because the team is this much in disarray. If we lose Kane, I think we're in a relegation battle. I'm not joking.
I think
we all agree with that.
Without his goals, wouldn't we be 16th?
I think 17th. Someone told me. Yeah. And then I know Richarlison probably would chip in with a few to recover that, but well, I think we'll be in serious trouble without Kane. And if Kane goes this summer, I think we're in absolute disarray because I don't see what manager we're going to get now. Because I thought Slot was realistic, which is probably why I was kind of championing him a bit more. And I thought I was more open because he was European. But now we're looking at people like Potter and Rodgers, who I just really don't want at all. But we could probably end up with one of those two at the World Cup.
Didn't Potter turn us down when he was at Brighton?
But should I tell you why I think Potter might come now? Because obviously he thought he could do better because he went to Chelsea.
Yeah.
But now he's kind of maybe has to redo his reputation, like redemption, I guess.
Yeah.
And maybe see Spurs as like, oh well, back then I thought I was better than them, but now maybe I'm not. And
do we really want a manager like that?
No, exactly. If you like a girl has and she picks your mate over you, then your mate dumps her, and she tries to come running back to you. You never go, all right, then you go, fuck you, fucking do one. You made your choice. You made your bed, lie in it. Yeah.
You took it out. I was thinking that as well myself. But I wouldn't take Potter for that reason as well. But also because I just think if you can't handle Chelsea, you can't really handle Tottenham because we're even worse.
I mean, our chairman is very special, but then again, that chairman at Chelsea, I've never seen anything like it. He thinks he's playing Football Manager, doesn't he? He's like, oh, God, Bennett, that bloke's all right. Let's buy him. Now we've got a squad of 50 players, 20 out on loan.
I heard they had to increase the size of the dressing room, the changing room. Sorry,
Gazza was telling me on Friday that there's rumours circulating that Todd Bowley didn't realise that you have to qualify for the Champions League because they're in. I think they might be in trouble now for the financial fair play because they haven't got Champions League money coming in. And he was like in a meeting going, "Well, we've got the Champions League money coming," and they're like, "No, you haven't." He's like, "Yeah, we have." I always watch Chelsea in the Champions League. Yeah, you have to qualify for it. Apparently didn't realise you have to qualify for it. Dickhead. Wow. I don't know how true that is, but that's what he'd heard. I don't know if it was on TalkSport or something, but yeah, he's a bit clueless because they don't have promotion and relegation in America, do they? So they don't.
No, it's just
where did they find it?
Super League sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Where did they find it? I mean, who do we actually know who is behind the consortium who own Chelsea? Yeah,
probably Roman Abramovich somewhere down the line. Yeah,
Vladimir Putin.
And that lot. Yeah, Putin and Hitler's grandson or something.
Oh my God!
Oh Jesus!
Realistically, I was talking about Kane going and then like being in a relegation battle next season. You know that means as a manager, don't you?
Sam Allardyce.
Yeah.
Don't joke, because they're probably going to beat us with him today. So.
Oh yeah, wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah,
I think Levy's nothing if predictable. You know, for years he had a boner for Mourinho, didn't he? And he eventually had to burn everything we'd built under Pochettino just so he could get Mourinho. He's wanted Brendan Rodgers for ages, hasn't he? He's like 2 or 3 times previously he's wanted him. Oh, absolutely. And now he's available on a free. I think Brendan Rodgers all day long.
And what do you think?
It's actually realistic, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he'll manoeuvre a situation where he goes, oh, well, all the good managers are gone now, but Brendan Rodgers, he's got Premier League experience. Oh, he's available. We've got, and he'll give it to him, kind of thing.
Well, he did pretty well with Leicester, didn't he? I think they won the FA Cup, didn't they? And I'd give my right testicle for that. To be honest. But he seems like a real arrogant twat.
I hate his personality. I'm like you. I hate his personality.
Yeah.
Champagne Charlie, isn't he? Like, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know the way he says tea before whenever he goes, tea, we're going tea, compete tea. He says tea all the time, tea. If you listen to him next time, he always says tea.
I don't want to listen to him. So.
No,
No, I can remember first hearing about him when he fucked over Watford. And let's just say that Steve, my good mate who's a Watford fan, absolutely despises the bloke. What are the other names in the ring? Is it Amorim?
He hates Levy, I heard. So
is he Benfica?
Lisbon,
sorry. Gallardo as well from South America. Yeah, and that's a kind of a risk because he has no experience in Europe, let alone England.
Postecoglou?
Oh yes, yeah.
He turned round yesterday after game speech saying he looks forward to seeing all the players next season, all the players and fans next season.
Okay, what on the telly?
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Who's that? Is that Kev Gallardo?
No, Postecoglou or whatever his name is.
Right, yeah.
I didn't
Angie.
notice for that. Remember when Robbie Keane was rumours of Robbie Keane leaving, and he came out with this video saying, "Oh, I love Spurs fans, love Spurs," and all this kind of stuff. And literally within 2 weeks, he was gone.
He went to Liverpool.
I remember that. Yeah.
Take no notice of that.
Yeah, well,
look at first.
Campbell. So,
Campbell did that. Then he said, "Oh, yeah, I'm staying. Don't worry that I haven't signed a new contract. We don't want to go over that ground, do we?"
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what do we think about today's match?
I saw 4-0 leads, but anyway.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. When was it? It was when we came second and third in a 2-horse race or whatever. And we lost to Newcastle 5-1 last day of the season, didn't we?
That's what I'm thinking as well.
And weren't they already relegated, Newcastle?
Yeah.
That's when we bought, what's his name?
Sissoko. Yeah.
Sissoko.
Yeah. That is very true.
You know, I had a meltdown when we signed him on that deadline.
Lisbon manager has a 20 million buyout, apparently. That was the same as Slot as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He had a 20 million buyout, and obviously Mr. Levy didn't think that much of him because he didn't want to pay it. So 3-1 Leeds. Yeah, I think that's pretty.
Yeah,
so if Leeds win today, Everton and Leicester go down.
No, because Leeds are on 31 points, aren't they? So
yeah,
I think Everton have got a couple more points, right?
Yes.
Can you bring it up on screen, Jens, or not? Somehow.
That's a bizarre old situation, isn't it, Everton? Like, probably going down, possibly going down. And that massive new stadium that they're going to be building. Like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, best stadium in the championship.
That'll be us in a couple of years.
Shut up, man! The hell has.
Well, if Kane goes, I don't know what's going to happen to this club.
Yeah.
Honestly. I really don't.
How do I share a screen, John?
So you've got, what have you got here? I haven't got a presenter's screen on here. So there's one of the buttons down the bottom there. There should be share screen.
Present. Yeah. Okay.
Present. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
You can. I'll find it. Why is a picture of Potter on my screen? Oh no! Oh, what's the story? Tom McCann, AVB 2.0 and Genius Coach. Wow.
Okay, so
AVB 1 didn't work to us. Why do we want AVB 2?
You know they're talking about Potter, by the way. That's the story, anyway.
Oh, really? Okay.
It just came off from MSN. You know MSN? Yeah.
So, Everton, who are they playing?
Now, while we're talking about Potter, I mean, there's people whose opinion you value in the world, and I value Steve Perriman's, and he says he's a brilliant coach, and he's followed him for years. When he went over to, is it Sweden? He went over and he was in the lower leagues in Sweden or Denmark, and he's followed him for years, and he said he's a good coach, and he's recommended that Tottenham get him many times before, but Stevie doesn't listen to those kind of voices, does he?
No, unfortunately.
But yeah, Steve Perriman raves about him all the time on his podcast, where he has done going back for years when he first started doing bits at Brighton.
Right. Okay. So you got Villa, Brighton, Everton, Bournemouth, Leeds, Tottenham, and then Leicester, West Ham. What do we reckon there then?
Cool. It'd be it'd be the most interesting thing. Be watching it on screen when as it stands. Keep flipping throughout the days. All three of them could possibly start, and all three of them could go down, couldn't they?
I have my own. I think Everton will win. I think Leeds will win, but I think Leicester will lose.
Okay. Yeah.
Or draw. But I don't think they can.
So let's say Leicester and Leeds are there at the moment, are they? So it's in Everton's hands, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who have Everton got?
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Haz, what makes you think Everton will win against Bournemouth?
I just think they'll win. They'll scrape a win out of something. I don't know. Like a
They
1-0.
need to get Graham Stewart back. Remember, he scored a goal for him to keep him up years ago, didn't he? About 20 years ago. Graham Stewart getting back.
Don't they have this record? They've never gone down, right? Or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see them going to go down. No.
Yeah, it's only who is it? Them and the Gooners who are ever present, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, but they've got an asterisk next to their name because they never got promoted in the first place, did they? They cheated their way into the top flight, so that doesn't count. It's only
Even I know
Everton.
that story.
Yeah. Asterisk FC, that's what I call them when their fans get, because none of their achievements count because they cheated to get into the league in the first place.
Yeah. So that was kind of amusing the way that they completely and utterly bottled it, wasn't it?
And tried flipping it on us. I don't know if you know, if you've been in your groups and stuff. They're trying to flip it all on us, saying, "Oh, we went proper Spurs," and I was like, "Well, that's gone now. That's Arsenal now." There's that thing in there, like 6 of the biggest 10 bottles have been Arsenal. We're not even on the bloody table. So this has all been a myth perpetuated by them all along to try and cover for their own bottling, isn't it? Really, Spursy indeed. It's Arsenal now, definitely all day long.
It is literally the only shining light from this season for us is watching that whole thing collapse.
Yeah,
close call thing though, wasn't it? I mean, I thought that we're going to get away with it at one point and sneak the title, but
it's that draw at West Ham. I think that's what killed them.
The 2 goals up, weren't they, to West Ham? Was it United or Liverpool? They fucked up as well. Liverpool, then West Ham in 2 weeks. And drew.
But I think West Ham was the killer. I remember watching that game. It was on Greek.
Oh yeah.
And the people
they were battering him, weren't they?
They were battering him in the first half. They're like, "There's no way West Ham will come back." I was like, "Just watch." And then 2 minutes later, they scored.
I turned it off, because I couldn't bear to see it. They were 2-0 up and they were cruising, weren't they? They were like nearly scoring every time they went forward. So I was like, for fuck's sake, I turned it off. And I was like looking at Twitter and then, 2-1. Oh, and then they missed a penalty, didn't they, to make it 3-1?
Yeah, when he missed it, I knew that was done. I knew that was done.
Yeah. And I thought, I better put this back on. And so I put it back on to see the 2-2. That's football. That's how brilliant. That's football, though, isn't it? Because Arsenal were different league in the first half and it's completely threw it away.
But it does make me laugh that again they're bringing out they're trolling out the whole it's a young side and this that, and I don't know. I think any Arsenal side, even if they were all over 30s, the press would come out and say
they're too old.
Such a young side, and it's you've heard that since day effing dot. It is ridiculous.
Let them use that, Jens, because they're teeing us up to respond. The fact with that Pochettino team, where we apparently finished 3rd in a 2-horse race, we were never top, and our squad was younger than theirs. So their brave young team, our team was younger, and we were never top. Yet we bottled it apparently, and they haven't. They're a brave young team who pushed Man City all the way, kind of thing.
I think what the difference of Arsenal and that team that Arsenal have compared to Poch is there's a lot of similarities, but I think the difference is they actually bought players in January. That January we didn't, and I think that kind of kept them in the race longer. And then obviously in the end they bottled the 3 draws, and I think that was it really after that because they lost to City. I think afterwards, right? But
didn't City lose the other day? Because I think someone said that Chelsea, the team that we finished second, the Chelsea team we finished second to, they had more points than Man City, or potentially, especially if Man City lost the other day, then they're gonna not get as high as that Chelsea team that we also lost to. So the Conte team had more points than Man City are going to get this year. So again, that's another myth. How can Arsenal compete with this all conquering Man City team? Yeah, we were bottle jobs for not beating Chelsea, who got more points that season. It's all context, isn't it? For that lot.
Doesn't bother me anyway. Like winning the Premier League doesn't mean anything to me. I know it's a trophy and everything, but there's no promotion there. You don't go anywhere. You're doing the same as true that, Alan. You're doing the same as the 3 teams below you. You're not the best in that league because you've already been beaten at least once during the season by one of the teams below you. So for me, unless you're getting promoted, that's pointless. Winning the FA Cup is more an achievement, if anything, because that's literally it's competition open to every single football team in the country. And then if you win that, you can literally say you are the best in the country. So I'm not that bothered about it. It's comedy. It's just a great show to watch with your popcorn, watching Arsenal bottle it. And I think what it is as well, they got sussed out, didn't they? They got sussed out like Kulu's been sussed out, like especially Saka. They've just realised that they double up on Saka, and then that's him sorted and things like that. So it's the thing is, differences with Man City, like they've got more money than God, so they can just chuck money at it and the problem is solved. That's them. I don't even care. I don't even care. Man City win the league. Nobody really cares. It's just like, yeah.
I believe Arsenal spent more money than them though, so they can't even get away with that, saying that they're just free money. Last summer they spent more than them. Obviously, overall they've spent more, but
I think it's about the same. I think, yeah.
But City spent really well though. Yeah. They bought Alvarez for 15 million.
Wow, that's
crazy cheap.
That's something that Mr. Levy would have liked. Going back to Saka. Now, I don't watch him that closely. I have to say, I don't watch the England side, the national side. I don't watch Arsenal, obviously. Occasionally see him on Match of the Day. Is he actually that good? Or...
I think I said on one of your previous streams at the beginning of the season, Jens, when I was slating Arsenal, I don't think he's all that. He's not. What's he got? He's just a sprinter in boots, isn't he? Has he got any skills? Has he got any end products over any of the other players that are around at the moment? Don't really stand out for me. They were hyping him up like he was the second coming of Pele, weren't they? Yeah. It was like, he's a young player riding he's just quick and he's riding the wave of confidence, isn't he? Really. But he's missed a couple of big moments now. He missed that penalty the season before, which probably cost him top four, and he's missed a penalty to put him 3-1 up against West Ham that probably cost them the title this year.
Yeah. I mean, football fans don't need an excuse to big up their own players, but the Gooners, they are something else when it comes to that. I have to say I was very surprised about that Ramsdale guy. Again, I haven't watched him that much, but I saw him a few times for Sheffield United, and I thought he had so many mistakes in him. I think he's been one of, if not the best goalkeeper in the Premier League this season.
I think Nick Pope. I also Nick Pope.
Oh yeah, that's true.
To be fair though, Ramsdale's made a lot of mistakes in the past few games for them though.
Has he?
After the second half of the season, obviously they had the best. I don't know if you've seen this statistic, but the first half of the season had obviously like the best points or whatever. The second half was completely
opposite.
Not the worst, but I'm trying somewhere in the middle. Yeah. And I think that coincided with Ramsdale's form dropping. Because I remember, do you remember the Southampton game when he gave the ball away in like the first 3 minutes he scored?
That's hilarious.
yeah. so like I don't think he's the worst goalkeeper, but I don't think he's the best either. I think he's somewhere same at 7, 8.
I think it comes with the course, doesn't it? Goalkeepers, they're going to make mistakes. All players make mistakes. With my manager's head on, I know at the beginning of the season my goalkeeper is going to make mistakes because he's human, and like all players on pitch miscontrol the ball, like misplace a pass, don't they? So the goalkeeper is going to make mistakes. He's got to stick with the one that's going to make the least mistakes, really.
Yeah.
And Hugo's
about Leeds today, because normally last month or so I've been watching who Spurs play. I've been watching their team when they play. And looking at like, who can we pinch? People like Ben Mee and stuff like that. It's like, we could have him and all that. I don't know about you guys, but I don't see anyone in Leeds that I'd want to poach. Really,
Notto. Was it Notto?
Yeah,
Somerville. I like Somerville as well.
Somerville looks good.
Yeah.
But again, I thought their goalkeeper was great last season. He's had an absolute shocker this season.
I don't like him at all, their goalkeeper.
He had more practice than anyone else, didn't he? Because they were so open. He's like, he had so many saves to make every game.
I get nervous just watching him because he just always looks scared. He always looks scared. If you look at his body language, he always looks like frightened. And I just wouldn't want a goalkeeper like that at Tottenham. I mean, we had problems enough with Lloris. So can you imagine what
that Brighton keeper scares the hell out of me because all the risks he takes. I'm like, he takes so many risks, doesn't he? But I guess that's the goalkeeping these days, isn't it? Playing with their feet and taking risks.
Who would you like to replace Hugo?
Well, I think we're all right with Forster.
Yeah, but if Hugo is going to leave, which I think is quite likely, we're then going to need a backup. Is Brandon Austin good enough to be anything but a bench option?
I've not seen a minute of Brandon Austin play, to be honest. I don't think.
I've seen him in a friendly in, I think, COVID times when he'd just come back from Orlando Pirates that's the South African team.
I think he's highly rated, isn't it? Was it Stell that went to the training ground? He said the coaches in the club have got really high expectations for him to take over the number 1 jersey, so they think a lot of him. Yeah, so maybe Forster has one more season, and we kind of bring him in slowly. I don't
That's
know.
not an endorsement, though, is it, John? The coach is at our club. For fuck's sake, like.
I think the ones that say that Levy hamstrings everything, like higher up the chain kind of thing. So
Yeah.
the grassroots coaches at our club, I think, actually try and do the best, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. But Whiteman got a new deal as well, didn't he?
That was strange. Yeah.
Maybe he's rated as well. But what was his last loan? Last 2 seasons he's been in Sweden, hasn't he? With I think Potter's old club. No, it's not. No, it's not Potter's old club. It's Degerfors. I think they got relegated while he was there. So that's not such a
Yeah, they've had a lot of practice, like the Leeds keeper.
glowing endorsement. You know?
We got relegated. It's fine. It's fine.
But I'm pretty sure that they're putting on a concert for the Swedish Beyonce just to make up some money. So.
Zara Larsson or something. I can think of.
It'd be interesting to see if what Hugo Lloris's body language was at that last game. I didn't go, as you know, so I didn't actually ask Gaza if he was waving goodbye or if he kind of gave off vibes that he was leaving. Or no one's mentioned anything, have they?
Where do you think he'll go? Where do we get him from? We got him from Lyon, didn't we?
Yeah.
So what's their goalkeeper?
Yeah, it's the obvious thing, isn't it? Really, go back there.
Yeah,
retire quietly.
Yeah, plenty of red wine.
I tell you, the 3 names I like. Raya, I can see why we're looking at him. He looks okay. I don't know if we're going to be a top keeper. Minigan, I love at AC Milan. I think he's quality.
Yeah,
the AC Milan keeper, he's so good. And Martinez. I know you hate me for saying it, but I love Martinez.
Like we said last week, though, Jens, we shouldn't be getting anyone until we've got a manager in, and who the manager wants, not who the club wants. It should be who the manager wants.
I know.
Really.
This is the keepers that I like. So.
Who's out there? Yeah, who's out there?
But the thing is, though, they sign that Donetsk guy on a free, don't they, or something?
Oh, really? Okay.
Solomon, who he can't even get a game at Fulham. Apparently, Spurs want him on a free. Solomon.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
But who wants him, because we haven't got a manager or
I don't
director of
want
football.
him.
Right?
I don't even know who he is. I don't know what.
Who do I attribute that to? Because there shouldn't be anyone at the club at the moment making decisions on the playing staff, should there? It's ridiculous. We haven't got a manager or director of football. Yeah. Like we always say, his policy is try and get a bargain, isn't it? If he can see a potential young player who's available for a free, he's going to try and get him, whether we need him or not. That's Levy all over, isn't it? That's Levy all over.
Probably got a few lined up already. I know in him.
Mm-hmm. Bargains, isn't it? Like bargains. Yeah. Not players whether we need them or not. It's whether they're bargains.
Yeah. Very true. So Lyon have got some guy called Anthony Lopez as their number 1 goalkeeper. I never heard of him, but his stats look pretty good.
There's also the Croatia keeper. I quite like him. I forgot his name though.
Oh yeah, what was his name?
He had a good World Cup. So.
Yeah. But isn't he in Italy?
Yeah, I think you're right. But I can't remember his name.
Yeah, let me just have a look. Livkovic.
Yeah.
There was chat about Kelleher and all, by the way. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I've seen that as well. Yeah.
Is he any good?
I don't rate him. He's a stopper, but he's long, lean, Irish. What could go?
Is he the fellow with the same name as you? Any Quivan? Is it Quivan?
Yeah.
Is he another Quivan? Isn't he? Yeah, Quivine. Yeah.
It's Kevin.
Yeah.
Bring back Eric Corsvet.
Yeah, too bloody right.
Yeah.
Livkovic still plays in Dinamo Zagreb.
All right.
Didn't he play against us as well? When they beat us?
I think he did. Yeah. When we lost that game to a club that's manager was in prison.
Forever breaking boundaries,
It's bloody impressive, that is, isn't it?
History makers.
History makers.
But yeah, of course, there's a video on the internet. Welcome to Manchester United, Dominic Livkovic.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
You know what they're like. Them and the Scousers are forever making videos saying welcome to our club, and after blokes don't turn up, it's these guys over in the Far East or whatever got nothing better to do. Okay, does anyone else have anything that they want to talk about? It's all a bit
what team
not as
we
lively
playing
as it was
today?
last week. Sorry?
Do you think Mason is like, because I've been told that Mason's actually proper in the running
Yeah,
for the job.
on the short list, yeah.
Like
At least he wants the damn job.
I mean,
Yes,
you heard what he said yesterday about leaving. But what do you guys think will happen after we get Mason if he becomes a permanent coach?
Relegation battle.
You think as well? Yeah.
Because unfortunately, Mason will listen to Levy when Levy says, "Oh yeah, we'll go out and buy a few cheap reserve team players, and then the squad is fine." And he'll just be like, "If Mr. Levy," and then we won't. I can't see anyone stepping up. Maybe if Bentancur can stay fit. He's a very impressive player. I think he's one of my favourites at the moment. But again, he did an ACL, didn't he?
He's not due back till September, and Mason could have been sacked by then if he has a bad start in August.
I've heard it might be December, but
December. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see him properly till January, to be honest.
Yeah, he's running, isn't he? There are some images of him running in straight lines, but obviously twisting is the problems with your knee ligaments, isn't it? So he's getting his fitness back, running up and down straight lines and strengthening the knee. But yeah, it could be the new manager could be sacked by the time he comes back, could he? If we have a bad start to the season, like Nuno. Look at Nuno. Well, Nuno had a good start to the season, didn't he? Manager of the month for the first month. Four wins out of 4, and then it all went wrong.
I'm going to make you proud.
He won the league last night, didn't he? Yeah, he won the league last night.
Did he? What?
Yeah, in Saudi Arabia or wherever he is.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Another one.
Another one.
Apparently
Yeah.
that's
Another one. Yeah. Don't forget, when Dombele went out on loan just to win Serie A. Coming back.
Yeah, how much did he contribute though? He come on for 10 minutes at the end, didn't he? Here and there.
Yeah. He did have actually pretty good numbers on the football mobile thingy that I have. When he came on, he got some
against tired legs.
But yeah, against tired legs, as you say. What do you think about him and Lo Celso? I know we've been over this before.
I try not to. They're both going to be back, aren't they, pre-season? Because especially if we haven't got a director of football or manager, there's going to be no one to make a decision. I don't want them people anywhere near the club, so they're going to have to turn up first day of pre-season, aren't they?
Well, Winksy got relegated last week, didn't he?
Did he?
Sampdoria got relegated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Reguilon has been injured most of the season. I think he could still do a job, probably as a number two. Sorry.
He's better than Session, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But don't forget, we got what's his name? This
Udogie.
Best thing since sliced bread. Udogie coming in.
Yeah.
But then again, I think that he's going to take some time to find his feet. Italian football is very, very different, as we all know.
They're probably reading the small print as well to try and get out of it, because it was obviously Conte and Paratici that signed him from the Italian market, and now they're not here, are they? So he's like thinking.
The thing with Udogie though, and these young wing backs or ball backs, whatever you want to call them, coming back, like even Spence. Personally, I don't see much with Spence. That's just my opinion. I just don't really see much with him. But with Udogie, I think you're gonna have to go the Bell route with him and play him as a winger first, and play him higher up the pitch, and then give him time to bed into the league like that, and then. You can, if you're going to not convert him into a left back, if he's going to play there, it's like a Rose-esque player or something, you can move him back. Because even Danny Rose, when he first started playing him, played on the wing, I think.
He did. He was crap.
Yeah, he wasn't very good, was he?
Yeah, no,
apart from that goal against Arsenal. But
basically because they have less responsibilities, basically. So he plays further up.
That's true.
But we still need. This is what I mean. We still need, I think, a right back, 2 centre halves and a left back, regardless of whoever comes in, and a goalkeeper. So that's 5 players in defence.
Yeah, and an attacking midfielder,
and a creative midfielder, and a central midfielder, and a forward probably as well. And if
I
Kane
think-
goes, that's another 3 players. That's 10 players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the midfield's sorted. I think the players we've got coming back, you look at Bentancur alongside Skip and Højbjerg, that's good enough in itself, let alone...
Super, yeah.
Don't forget Brian Hill, Simon.
Yeah,
I actually like Brian Hill.
Yeah, Simon loves him.
Yeah.
I do, yeah. It's and he's proven to be... I think he plays a bit more forward, doesn't he? He's like in that one slot before the front two. So... You know, we've got players in the middle there that's fair. We don't need any, I don't think. And I think it's just a defence sorting out. It's more getting players out, isn't it? That's a key thing.
The only reason I say central midfield is because we just don't know what Bentancur's going to come back like, and that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, so
in the sense, after an ACL, you don't know what you're going to get. Because remember, was it Owen Hargreaves? He had a really bad injury, came back. He wasn't the same player. There's a lot of players like that, but this one came on top of my head. But that's
you lose half a yard of pace, don't you? That's the worry.
Yeah,
that's the risk.
I think the whole thing about Højbjerg is I think he's a decent reserve, but he does need a bit of rest because I think hasn't he played almost every single game for the last 3 seasons until this injury. So I don't understand the absolute massive hatred for him from a lot of our fan base or from certain members of our fan base. But I can understand that people don't, I think he's knackered. And he is a very limited footballer, I would say.
But it's what we need, though. Like, we need somebody who's going to just, like, take it off the opposition and just spray the ball out. It doesn't matter, really, if it's, goes to the wrong person. We need somebody who's going to like take control of that because Skip's too young to do it. We haven't got anybody else that can do it. So,
welcome, Brian. How are you?
Hello, Brian. You all right?
Yeah. Good afternoon. Good afternoon here in Amsterdam. Shall we say? It's a lovely day, and I'm just waiting to check in. So I thought, why not join you lot?
Wise decision.
Exactly.
You've gone beardless for the trip to Amsterdam, have you?
Well, you know what? I've seen it's only hand luggage and stuff. I didn't want to start taking electric razors and all that. Yeah, I thought, you know what? If we just in case we see any top people here, I best look presentable. So
you mean beard ointment? You want that beard ointment, that soul glow that makes it all glisten and.
Yeah, no. Do you know what? I've got all that stuff, but if you don't do that from the start, it's pointless, and I forget. So if in doubt, shave it off. So there you go.
Here's a nice welcome from Mr. Swift for you, Brian.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Mr. Swift. All I will say, as Mr. Swift knows, I'm a very, very happily married man. If I want to stay a very, very happily married man, that's not on the agenda.
And intact.
Let's do the 24-hour street.
Yeah, this will be my final one. This will be my final one of the day.
So you actually, are you working today? You're free?
No, I mean, I don't know if you want to call it working. It's more like that. There's the team leaders of me and my fellow team leaders and our manager have come over tonight. We're going out for a meal in Amsterdam.
Okay. Yep.
Love you too, Swifty. Then we're going to go to our Park Plaza in Utrecht and have a look around Utrecht and do that.
Yeah.
Then do a lunch and dinner again. Then tomorrow the same with another hotel, lunch and dinner, and then Tuesday home. So the work is viewing the hotel.
Yeah.
Hard life.
It's still work, isn't it?
It is. It's a hard life.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you get to watch the game? But the wording should be more like, do you have to watch the game?
Do you get to miss it? That's
do you get to miss the game?
We're meeting at 5 in the lobby to go out for dinner or do something around here with the general manager, so I might catch the first half.
So it'll be 3 or 4 down by the time you leave.
Yeah.
Johnny, what you've got to remember, buddy, is if we don't concede in the first 10 minutes, that's progress from the last 3 away games.
Progress, yeah. Progress.
So,
I think there's an Irish pub on Leidsterplein which should be showing it.
Okay, I'm glad you said on Leidsterplein. I have no idea what that is.
It's relatively close to your hotel.
Okay, well, I've got Sky on here and everything, so I'll watch it from the comfort of my own
It's
bedroom.
on BT Sport, I think, isn't it? I think.
we're on BT.
Do you really think I
it's
need?
on Via Play over here.
Again, you're talking a foreign language to me. It's on TV, is what you meant. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
The last thing I need to do is go watch Tottenham in a bar park for a half, and then probably get arrested or something for doing something stupid. And then they're like, "Brian, where are you? We're going out for this dinner." I'll be like, "Oh no, don't worry about that.
I'm getting
I'm getting some form of dinner."
bread and water.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what are your thoughts today, then, Brian? Apart from Levy out,
That is basically my overall thoughts. It's summed up into one little ball, but no. Listen, everyone's just happy the season's going to be over. Everyone can be happy that you can say, but we're getting rid of this summer to say, or rid of this season to say what a shit show. But as of tomorrow, welcome to the summer of disappointment, as I call it.
Yeah.
As we get absolutely no one that we actually want and end up with scraps, like we're a hyena going around the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's what we'll be doing.
Modus operandi. That's what we always do. Yeah.
Exactly. And don't forget, we can all look forward to Ndombele's brilliant attitude for being a league title winner now, and knowing he's done more in 1 year than every single player at the Tottenham Hotspur team.
Yeah.
As long as
Also,
we get
Nuno won a trophy. That's what Len's Jen.
Mate, do you know what Ryan Isaac said something to me? And I couldn't stop laughing because it's so true.
Yeah.
Luton have won more trophies at Wembley than we have, or the same amount of trophies as we have in the whole of Enix's run, and they've been to Wembley once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
That's bloody amazing, isn't it?
I was just watching the game because we'll be fighting relegation with them next season, so I had to get
Relegation
some information
rivals.
on our rivals.
How are they actually going to get the go-ahead to play at their ground?
Oh, what the Lego Stadium, as I call it.
Don't they
They've
have
got to spend like £11 million apparently to get it up to Premier League standards.
Really? Okay.
Wow, that's like our entire transfer budget.
Yeah.
We've got like
Over 2 seasons, yeah.
We'll have to sell first.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Who wants our scraps?
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna have to let them go for free.
Yeah.
We'll go for free.
Oh, yeah, it gets the wages off the books, doesn't it? But, I mean, Sanchez, I still remember my in-laws laughing all the way to the bank when we bought him from Ajax, because they're all Ajax supporters, and they were like, "We spent 50 million on that bloke?" Or was it?
I'll tell you something. So I used to work with an Ajax fan, and so it was like the year after we signed Sanchez. I asked him, what's Sanchez? Like, what did you guys think of Sanchez? Because I didn't rate him, obviously, from what I saw in the first couple of years. He was like, well, so we were very surprised. He goes, we were very surprised when Spurs bought him for so much money because he was only there for a year. He wasn't even that good.
Yeah. He was bullied in that Europa League final, wasn't he, by Mourinho?
Mourinho targeted him, didn't he?
Yeah.
The first day of training when you're taken over Tottenham to Sanchez, you shit yourself in the tunnel when you were playing against me. Like, that's not going to boost his confidence, is it, really, to be fair?
In the documentary as well, didn't he?
Yeah, it was in the documentary. He goes, I remember you shit yourself in the tunnel when you played us in the final. It's like... All right.
That's probably why Eric Dyer did what he did against Chelsea.
He likes players that shit themselves.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Eric Dyer.
Yeah. Good news. A little bit of good news the other day was Oluwasi signed a contract. So 16, same age as Mikey Moore, and so that I think it was a 2-year youth contract and then 1 year professional. So again, he's going to have to be pretty special to make it. But he is rated quite highly, not as highly as Mikey Moore, but Mikey Moore was making some noises on Twitter the other day about he's going to be signing a new contract. Unfortunately, it was Mundell, but yeah.
Madueke, remember that Madueke? Is it Madueke?
Yeah.
Let him go, and now he's at Chelsea. Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that they didn't like about Conte, wasn't it? Because Harry Kane wouldn't have had a pathway into the team, would he, if Conte had been manager? He wouldn't have picked him at all. He wouldn't have ever given him an opportunity. He doesn't really like young players as a young, unproven player. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think
before
though,
someone's just asking Brian for an autograph.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, are you Brian Daigle from?
We are top three.
Tottenham Way?
But I tell you what, I was on Savage Show a minute ago, or about half an hour ago, and walking straight in front of me was a gooner. I was like, "Oi, mate, you're wearing the wrong shirt." He went, "No, mate, I don't think so." And he was like, "You're crap this season." I was like, "Well, I've got no comeback."
But there were bloody 5 of them down my road the earlier, and all
We've won the same amount.
Yes, but
The only
you're in
response,
London.
Brian.
You're in London.
But all with Arsenal shirts at this time in the morning at like what 10 o'clock it was. Down the pub, they were down the spoons, and I was just like, I walked past, and I was like, "There's 5 Arsenal fans around me." Like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I suppose you need to go to Wetherspoons to drown your sorrows if you're an Arsenal fan, aren't you? So.
Who are they playing today? Who have they got for their victory parade? Who have they got for their open bus victory parade?
Off one, isn't it?
Johnny, I've got to be sort of truthful though. I would have rathered
Wolves.
bottled the league and had taken them to a 36 out of 30 game season title running and lost, rather than the shit we've seen. Yes, they choked. Yes, they bottled it. Yes,
they got Wolves. Yeah.
but it's like you took. Even when we were in the title race those 2 times, we couldn't do it.
No, you're right. I always use this analogy, Brian. I probably said it to you before. Like in the season when they said we came third in a 2-horse race.
Yep.
If you go on a 14-day holiday, if you've had 13 days of a brilliant holiday and then you have a shit journey back to the airport at the end of the holiday, what do you remember? You remember the shit day back, but you still had 13 days of good holiday, haven't you? Really?
Yeah, I can see your point. No, it just got to be that these fans just like people in glass houses should not throw stones.
Yeah,
they shouldn't throw stones.
That whole Spursy thing has been a myth perpetuated by them, hasn't it? Because I think they're on that list of the 10 bottles, aren't they? 6 times, and we're not even on there.
Yep.
The thing is, we needed a season like the one we
reflect.
had. We needed this season because the lower we finish, the more Levy gets it in the neck. If we want Levy out, the board have to sack him. The board will only sack him if it's an embarrassment to them. Like if we do so badly that apart from relegation, obviously we haven't done that.
Did you see that picture of his wife touching his hand like this? Like
Yeah.
If he's going to get sacked, we need to have seasons like the one we're in.
Ryan Mason made a great point in the press conference yesterday. He said we needed this season to make us evaluate where we're going wrong everywhere. To start again with our values and where we want to be. What kind of a club do we want to be? Because if we hadn't gone through this, we'd have just carried on. Fingers in the ears, blah 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 blah. We're doing great kind of thing, but we needed this to kind of make everyone realise this is not who we want to be. This is who we want to be. How do we get from that to that kind of thing?
If we'd have scraped through for like the Europa Conference, Levy could have gone to the board, but we're playing European football next season.
Yeah.
We can't let him do that. We have to get him in front of the board and say, "You've done a shit job." They haven't been through the season like we have. They don't know. They're relying on his end of season report. If he goes to them and say, then they'd be like, "Well, get out. You're a shit chairman."
But we could finish 9th today. If we lose and Brentford get a point against City, we finish 9th because they have better goal difference. I just checked.
Really? Good. But what Alan was saying, I thought one of the best replies of that video when his wife pats his lap on Twitter was, "Yes, that's what I have to do for him when he doesn't get an erection as well."
For me, I did put the quote, that was the best performance in the season. That stadium.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
It is, absolutely. So, this is going to be an interesting one.
An easy one.
Harry Kane.
Yeah,
28 goals in a struggling team. You can't.
Let me rephrase.
Second player of the season.
Without Harry Kane, who has been player of the season?
Rodrigo Bentancur.
Yeah, it's a shame he was injured for half of it though.
Yeah. Well, that just proves how crap we've been. Is that he's been injured for half of it, and he's still the second best player.
Just remember, this whole kind of downfall and way that we've been has been since he got his injury at Leicester.
Yeah.
And we all knew that. We all knew that would happen, though, Brian, didn't we? I remember when he went down, I was like, "Oh God, there goes our season." I said to my brother, "There goes our season."
Yeah,
and Conte's mood just dropped from that point as well. You knew that, as well.
Johnny, the worst thing is, and it just goes to show our medical team or whatever, he's torn his ACL and they're not putting him on a stretcher, they're just letting him walk. It's like, oh yeah, you completely fucked your leg up. You've done one of the major muscles, it's going to rule you out for 8 months. But yeah, just keep walking. Walk right round.
Yeah.
That's our medical team for you, Brian, because they misdiagnosed him, I think, 2 or 3 times before that for another injury, I remember.
Seriously?
Yeah. I remember this. They did some scan, then they said it was this. Then they did another scan because it was wrong, apparently. This was this was obviously before this injury we're talking about sometime last year, I think. I remember it very vividly because I was like, how can you misdiagnose an injury? Just scanned him. Are you that? They're paid to do this.
Exactly. And it's been like this for years, hasn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Every injury, it's like, oh, well, I thought it was this, but no, it's this. Oh,
yeah.
But it happened with Mourinho as well, didn't he? In the documentary again.
Mourinho lost his shit for it.
Yeah, the dead ump with our medical department, didn't he?
Yeah.
our team, our club gets improved not by the people we bring in, but the people that we chuck out. So Eric Dyer, like medical team goes go. It's why we need a director of football, is to sort all this out. Levy can't sort it out, and he's admitted like he wants to hand over the reins to Sean Watson. So we need a director of football to say, right, you're out. Somebody who's not got a connection to him. That's the problem with Ryan Mason, as good as I think he is.
I don't think the club understand that, though, Simon, because they keep saying it will take us 5 or 6 transfer windows to turn the situation around. No, it won't. Just get rid of fucking Eric Dyer, Davinson Sanchez. Instant successes. They're not going to make mistakes on the pitch. It doesn't take 6 transfer windows to realise that, does it?
You can do it in 2 or 3, probably.
Yeah.
But the thing is, also the club need to take into consideration, like this season, I'd rather seen a youngster at centre half instead of Dyer or Sanchez.
Yeah.
At least give them a go, because it can't be any worse.
Who have we got?
Or even Tanganga. I'd rather seen Tanganga than those 2 for the past.
Really? Lyons Foster as well. But...
Yeah, just someone else.
Yeah.
Because the thing with the rebuild, and the funny thing is, we're talking about rebuilds. There's been like how many years? 3-4 years, and we're still talking about it. But you kind of you get rid of all the dead words. In our case, it'd be like 10 players. You promote, say, 2 or 3 youngsters, and you bring in like 5 or 6 players. Yeah. And then you maybe you do it that way, and then the next window you get rid of, say, another 2 or 3, and you bring another 2 or 3, and that's 10. That's like a 10-player swing.
Well, that doesn't work, though, does it? Because we keep saying, "Oh, we didn't get Conte the centre back he wanted this summer. We didn't get the centre back he wanted in January. We're going to get him in the summer." But Conte's gone now, so you can't keep expecting to push it down the line and say we're going to get a proper player next summer, and then Conte's gone by then, isn't he? And then who does the next manager want?
I'd be happy we signed a goalkeeper, 2 centre halves, 2 fullbacks, and a creative player, and that's it. I'll be happy with that. And then the next window after that, you can buy another midfielder and another forward and someone else.
Yeah.
I think Ben Mee alongside Romero would be a really good fit. I think that's sorted. Something like Ben Mee in there.
How old is he now, Ben Mee? He's 30, isn't he?
7.
Oh, is he?
Do you know if there's any experienced centre halves out there, like a Bonucci or someone like that? A Thiago Silva? Is there anyone out there like that?
That is a good question. I'm not
because
really sure.
Because for me, the 2 centre halves, I want one like that.
Yeah.
And then one really good one.
Ben Mee's 33.
Maybe he qualifies for it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's ever really pulled up any trees wherever he's been. He had a great game against us when he played for Burnley. I don't think he was that great, was he? He's not exactly...
We used to lose at Turf Moor all the time.
Yeah.
Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
I can't see
Sean Dyche is a bit old to play now, though, isn't he? Sorry.
I'd say I'll take him as a manager.
But I'd love to have someone like Nabet
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Something like that, but I don't know who's out there. I'd have to do some scouting or something.
No, me neither. Let me see if I can find a list of free transfers.
No, like here ask Ledley King and Michael Dawson to take their suits off and jog on.
It can't be any worse than Dyer and Sanchez.
No, they'd do better, wouldn't they, to be fair?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of someone out there. I don't know. Because Michael Keane at Everton, how old is he? Is he like 30?
He's quite a young player, isn't he? I thought.
Well, he scored a screamer against us, so.
Yeah.
It's not hard with Louis King goal.
Yeah, exactly.
I
He's not young, he's 30.
I could take a shot here from Amsterdam and Lloris probably wouldn't save it.
Oh,
do you reckon there's a Nottingham Forest or a Burnley podcast going on somewhere right now? And they're like, who can we get? Who's got Premier League experience? Eric Dyer. He might be available from Tottenham. What do you reckon?
Please.
Definitely available. Take him. Definitely available.
Could you
Maybe
see
sell
that?
it to Ajax.
Johnny, we are the type of team that would rip up his contract, then can't find a replacement, and go, oh, no, sorry, do you want to re-sign? We're sorry.
Better
That's
terms.
what we'll do.
Better terms.
Nice to see you, Eugene. Long time no see,
Oh,
mate.
Eugene.
Hope you well.
Go, Eugene.
Yerry Mina is on a free.
I'm looking for old centre backs. How hard is it to find them?
Well, he plays centre back, doesn't he? Mina, or is he?
No. I'm just looking for someone really experienced.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Above 30. Let's search above 30.
The problem is,
I'll tell you, we've got a definite solution to the right wing back. Matt Doherty's on free.
Yes. Wait, is Hummel still playing?
Who? Sorry,
Matt
Hummels?
Hummels.
No, I don't think so.
Mate, even if he was, if you got come on, Has, do you really think Matt Hummels is going to come to Tottenham?
well, this is the thing, isn't it? Like, if they're experienced, they know what they're doing. They're not going to want to come to Spurs.
Chris Smalling.
I'm trying to find the solution to this.
Chris Smalling.
So
Yeah,
so basically,
you know what? That's not a bad shout.
Has your solution is to name really elite players that are on free.
And that we won't sign.
Mate, what? Why do yourself? Why do yourself? Look, start looking in the Angolan league and leagues like that, and find star players like that.
Sergio Ramos.
Me and TJ on my channel, we're going to do this show in like a week or two. Players, we're going to talk about players we want to sign but we'll never get. That's the title. So
How long's the stream? Like, is it 48-hour?
Yeah.
Charity stream.
Charity stream.
48 hour is only episode 1.
On the goalkeeper, yeah.
They're gonna have to break this down into about 6
The
episodes.
Levy Menace,
Episode
episode 1, the Levy Menace. Episode 2, Attack of the...
Yeah.
Episode 2, Attack of the Prophet. Episode 3, Revenge of the...
As long as you don't call it Attack of the Puppet Master, you'd be fine, Has.
Oh, mate,
Brian's found out. Apparently, that's racial connotations.
Oh, mate,
isn't it, Brian?
that Tottenham Tower, honestly.
You know it's probably Donna Cullen. Cullen.
It's either Donna Cullen or I think it might be. I've got a feeling if it's not someone from the club. No, if it's not someone from the club. Now, listen, Donna Cullen, I do know one of Donna Cullen's accounts for $1 billion.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about because that got blocked by them.
1 billion% sure is. There's others floating about. I'm not going to mention them, obviously. But if it's not, I think I know who this person is. I think I know who he is. And,
Boy Hotspur.
no, it's not him.
No, it's not him. No.
It's not. Wait, I'll put it in the private. I'll put it in the private chat. Make sure it's in the private chat.
Out him like Philip Schofield, Brian.
Oh mate, what are you doing? Did you see that tweet that said even Philip Schofield has turned down the Tottenham job because he doesn't want to do
his reputation?
Yeah, you got enough of that.
And Simon Jordan, I normally like Simon Jordan, but he fucking tries defending Levy every day, doesn't he? And he admits he's a friend of his, but he just won't have any of the points that are made, will he?
There you go. I've just put it in the chat.
I'm not even
I
sure.
don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I should know who it is. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, yeah, just...
You read it out, Has. Yeah.
Did you just say his name?
I think he did. No,
I didn't say his name.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Anyway, moving swiftly on. Lovely weather.
Yeah. Let's get away from me and apparently being the only anti-Semitic Jew there is.
What?
You hate yourself, don't you, Brian? That's what it is.
Yeah,
You hate
I really
yourself.
do. I do. I hate myself. I just can't stand it. Lived in Israel, got Jewish tattoos all over me. Go to synagogue, but yeah, it's all a ruse. It's all a ruse.
No, you just hate Levy. That's
That's not being anti-Semitic. That's being
no.
smart.
It's just because of his league. Even if he was Greek,
Moving on, the lovely weather is.
Greek, I'd hate him.
moving on.
I see Jens is supporting Wolves today. He's got his Wolves top on. They're playing Arsenal, aren't they, today? Did he say it's Wolves, isn't it, today?
Yeah. It's Arsenal.
No, it's just I felt like being a bit Dutch today. So
how about the Wolves manager? Is it Lopetegui? What's his name?
Lopetegui.
I'll take him.
Has he really done that much?
He got Wolves were one of the fourth team to ever be bottom of the league and not get relegated by Christmas.
Right.
Sorry, fourth out bottom of Christmas, and he has done a good job there. All right, he's had to. Their home has been a fortress. Funnily enough, they beat us, but let's face it, you just need to live in a Wendy house to beat us, not a fortress.
We put me on standby for next Christmas, then. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could appoint another manager, and then we normally sack it around October, November because Levy got it wrong, and then we're appointed.
Yeah.
Who was
the league.
Who was it? I think it was. Wasn't it? I think it was Ryan Mason who was saying managing Tottenham is still an attractive.
You're right.
Managers. And I was like, yeah, obviously, because the inevitable £1 million payoff is always very attractive for a manager, isn't it?
Let's be fair. We would take the job, just get sacked.
I would also say with Ryan Mason.
$1 million. Don't even bother doing the work.
Yeah.
I would also say Ryan Mason. Of course, you're going to say that when you're a young aspiring manager and you haven't had your first full-time job.
Yeah.
Let's go ask some other people. Let's go ask Arnie Slot. Let's go ask Nagelsmann. Let's go ask other managers that have turned this job down, who are seasoned professionals in the elite, and see what they have to say.
Yeah.
Thing is, though, Brian, if you were in the club there and you love Tottenham, just put yourself in Ryan Mason's shoes. Like you love Tottenham and that's your only club. Like Ryan Mason, you are going to say that, aren't you? Because you want to turn it around because it's your club. It's your club. You're going to turn it around.
I think you know what will be happening right now if I was Ryan Mason, mate. I think you know what will be happening.
Is it better to be part of something than the whole of nothing? You're managing Tottenham Hotspur. It's your club, aren't you? You're going to make some sacrifices to stay in charge of your club, kind of thing, aren't you? Yeah.
I would. I'd get Levy out. I would have a press conference, and every question I'll say is, and as always, Levy out. In every single that'd be my answer for everything.
Well, like Conte, you'd be sacked. Your arse wouldn't hit the floor, would it? You'd be out.
Yeah.
Well, you knew it, and then you're not Tottenham manager anymore, and you're never going to be Tottenham manager while that prat's in charge. So you've got to kind of look at it from Ryan Mason's point of view. It's his club, like our club. We'd give our left nut to manage him, wouldn't we? Really.
Also, Mason must get like special treatment from Levy, though, because he's taken the job twice now from sack managers.
Yeah, I think to be honest, the only man who can save us is Mike Bassett.
Yes,
Hedges
Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso.
Get Ted Lasso in.
Get him back.
Someone actually sent me a picture. You know that thing when you can age people?
Yeah.
They sent me a picture and said the year is 2052. Ryan Mason has taken charge as temporary manager for the 20th time after Ollie Skip's brief attempt at management failed. Genius.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It's genius. It's absolutely genious.
To be fair though, Mason has a cush job because he just takes over managers when they get sacked. So even if
I don't like the shade that he gets. To be honest,
the job's easy for him because even if he does badly, it's not like anyone's going to say, "Oh, well, he's been horrific," or he would he'll talk big about the club and say, "Oh, it's all rosy." You know, we know we've done mistakes, blah blah blah. He'll kiss up to Levy like he did in the presser yesterday, and he'll be fine. As long as we don't get relegated, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, think about your future manager job. So if he wants to manage a championship team or something, chairman or whatever, because nobody will employ him.
Exactly. You've got to show respect to the owners, haven't you? Because it reflects badly on him as a human, doesn't it? If he's digging out the managers and stuff. Conte's all right. He'll get offered jobs in Italy, won't he? But Ryan needs to conduct himself with a certain amount of respect and decorum, because otherwise other chairmen are looking at him, aren't they, going, "Oh, I don't like the look of him as he's slagging off the chairman," kind of thing.
There's no pressure on him, is there? There's no pressure on him. Anything. We're not in anything competition-wise.
There was a tweet by Ramon Vega, which I think was quite believable, saying that it looks like Levy doesn't realise that how small the world of management and coaching is in football.
They've all got the same agents. Yeah,
and the way that he is conducting himself, managers are thinking, I don't want to work for that guy.
Yeah. They all share agents and stuff, and they're going to be saying at Conte, what happened there? Why didn't it work? And they're going to be saying, he said this, didn't do that. So it's a small world, and word gets around, doesn't it? As Stereophonics famously said, word gets around.
Maybe Otamendi would work. I don't know. So I'm just a centre back still. Because of Romero, maybe Otamendi might not be a bad shout. Is that Benfica?
Oh, they were talking about Laporte, weren't they?
I think Laporte's a good one. I'd take Laporte and an experienced one. That would be good.
So, okay. Well, does anyone have anything else that they wish to talk about? Because otherwise...
No,
do you have any preference for a manager? Any specific name? Do you have? I know the names are dwindling, but do you have anyone have a preference for a manager?
Frank.
Thomas Frank.
Correct. Who said Frank?
Simon. Yeah.
Thomas Frank.
Simon. Big time. But is it this bad that I really want him, but I really don't hope to get him because we just screw him up? I love Thomas Frank. I think he's absolutely brilliant. And would be incredible for us.
It'd be perfect for us. It's exactly what we need. But most fans won't have it, I don't think, because he's not like a marquee name like Conte and all that, or Mourinho. So,
Simon, remember as well that he's at Brentford, who are well overachieving. He is loved by the fans. The board listen and support him. Would you give that up right now to no?
No.
Yes, because you've probably got a better budget at Spurs than you do at Brentford.
Yeah.
That's why.
And also, the whole
you might think that, though, but he probably doesn't have a better budget.
His masters in psychology and stuff like that, if that would work on players like Dyer and Sanchez.
That's been the problem. That's been the problem all season, isn't it? Like we've most of the players we know are good enough to have a top 4 finish. They are good enough. It's just the whole psychological thing is making them make stupid mistakes and play like they're playing in League 2. So that's exactly what we need. That's why I like Thomas Frank. Plus, he's got a level head on him. You know, he's not gonna take any shit, and he's like he can take pressure. You know what I mean? Like, well, obviously he can. I think he's ideal. He's ideal. He's exactly what we need.
And he also looks like he should be out in a field at 4 o'clock in the morning dancing after having popped 15 doves. So
either Thomas Frank or a former Spurs player who loves the club. That's the only person you're going to get. Who loves the club. Yeah. Nobody else will come.
What's Klinsmann up to these days?
I don't think you can win if you have to compromise, though, can you? Like, I was just thinking there in my Sunday league manager hat on. If I say I won a league title, Division 2, that isn't hypothetical, by the way. I did win a league title, Division 2. So if I got offered another manager's job, and I thought I've got all these good, I've got my striker's really good, my right back's really good, my centre back's really good, and I go to another club, I want to take them players with me, don't I? Because I know and I can trust those players, and I want to take them with me to be a success in another club. If you join another club and they say, well, you can't have him, you've got to have this player that I like to play left back, you can't have him, you've got to play that striker. I'm like, how am I supposed to succeed? Like, my judgment's not being valued, and I'm having to compromise on all the players I want to try and succeed at a club.
Exactly.
If you're Thomas Frank, you're like, what's in it for me? I'm not going to be able to pick my players, so I'm not going to be able to do my job to the best of my ability.
That's a conversation you have before you accept the job, though, isn't it? And
yeah.
That's why he's ideal, because he'll know that he's intelligent enough to have that conversation and say, look, what's going on here? Like, who do I talk to in terms of budget and stuff like that? Where's the director of football? Just like you would any other business. You know, you're coming in as a manager, you want to know everything before you even accept the job.
Hence, Nagelman told us to piss off Simon because he had those conversations and they couldn't give him any answers or any acceptable answers.
Oh, guys, I'm just going to quickly leave you. My battery's at 5%, so
Alright,
it's going to
okay.
go
Alright,
any
right.
second.
Nice
Have
The
a good
end
trip,
of
right?
the
Take care.
everyone. I'll see you
Enjoy
later.
your holiday.
See you, Ron.
What-
See
what-
ya.
what
And as
trip.
always, Levy out.
One day.
One day, yeah, one day.
Yeah.
One day.
Do you know?
Sunday Ramos.
Are we going to protest during stuff like concerts and stuff? Do you know?
Why?
Yeah, that's a good question.
He could just
actually
turn up the
haven't
music
stayed-
louder, couldn't he?
Yeah, I want to go and try one of them cocktails that they're selling for the Beyonce concert. I'm really excited about that. It's everything that any football fan would want, wouldn't it? It's
I
like,
want to run over Levy with one of the go-karts. That's what I want to do.
Mario Kart, you know?
exactly, yeah. Like one of those turtle shells or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want Conference League football next season?
No. I would have said
As-
yes, but we don't take it seriously. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
as we were saying before the show started, you weren't actually there, but I think if it's managed properly, that you actually use the youngsters and your reserves for these trips to a farmer's field in Kazakhstan, then I think it is useful. But the problem is that they always played the first team, and
I wonder if UEFA have got kind of rules in place though, Jens, where you have to, like in the Premier League, you have to field your strongest team, don't you? So maybe you can't just send your kids and your reserves out there without getting fines and stuff like that.
We got done before for that, didn't we? In the 90s, was it the 90s? We got done.
Yeah, not playing
yeah,
on
it's
strongest
Toto,
team.
wasn't it?
It's Toto Cup. I remember that.
Yeah. Wasn't that when Alan
That's when
Pardew
Alan
played?
Pardew played,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it, yeah.
And Dave Besson
You know,
didn't go on
as
it.
a kid, I remember when we won the Peace Cup.
Oh yeah. Robbie Keane. God, you should have
Peace
seen him
Cup,
celebrate.
yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
What
Like
a
a friendly
trophy.
tournament we did.
Yeah. In Korea, wasn't it?
Was it Korea?
I seem to remember. Yeah. I think so.
I think Burnley got fined this season, Kevin, for after the game after they'd won the league. They fielded like some of their
Oh yes. Yeah.
reserve players, and they got fined by the Championship for not fielding their strongest team because they'd already won the league, and because obviously it wasn't fair on the other teams that they played a weakened team, so I think Burnley got fined this season for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So they're all over you like a rash.
It
We
can be
won
a
the
bit
Peace
sharp, can't
Cup in South Korea by defeating Lyon 3-1 in the final.
When was this?
2005.
Did Ndombele play against us, or was that before his time?
That's a good question.
Probably would have been a bit early, wouldn't it, for him? 2015, 2015. So that my jam, he's burnt through us from 2022, 2020, 19, 18. He might have just have been about there.
Yeah, very possibly.
See?
But yeah, I don't. Unfortunately, it's not showing the lineups. Yeah, so it's just showing the goal scorers.
Robbie Keane.
Defoe, Mido, King.
Oh, Mido. Mido.
Yeah, Canute and Keane again. Ben Arthur was playing for Leon at that time.
Oh.
He was a good player.
He was.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you remember that goal when he ran like the whole pitch? Who was it again? I can't remember. I just remember that so vividly.
That when he was playing for Newcastle.
Yeah, he ran
Newcastle,
like
yeah.
the whole pitch and scored. Yeah.
Probably against us.
I don't think it was actually.
Yeah, okay. Right, well, if that's everything from everybody, do you wish to plug your channels? Please go ahead.
Oh yeah, is it just me then? Okay. Please subscribe to Hasper TV. Also, go subscribe to View from the South. I don't think anyone watches that, but I play quite regularly. So tonight we've got a post-match show again.
Okay.
Around I think it's like 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So go subscribe to them too, and just anyone else, I guess, who has a channel, just go subscribe to them, including this
I
one.
was gonna say, as Eugene doing a watch along, but he just said he was working, didn't he, on the comments? So
Right.
you watch? Are you going to watch it, Jens, or are you like cooking burgers and
No.
sausages
We
at that
did.
time?
I did the barbecue yesterday, so
it was yesterday.
I'm gonna watch it. Got to do some washing and cleaning and do some more.
We're like crack addicts, aren't we? Like all week I've been saying, nah, bollocks to him. I'm going to go and watch the concert in Wickham, and then today I'm like, I've got to watch it. I've got to watch it.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to have my brothers to watch it in a bit.
Thanks for joining us, Mark, and Alan as well. Thanks for
See ya.
coming
Thank
on.
you.
Leave it out.
Eugene, Good to see you. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure what we'll be doing in the closed season. I might do a few shows. I don't know. Simon, have you got your channel up yet?
Not yet. Got to move house first. So.
Oh, bloody hell. Well, good luck with that.
Priorities, Simon. Priorities.
Yeah. And should we do a transfers one at some point?
Yeah. That's a good
players
idea.
Like I said, players we're not going to sign, but we'll talk.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say the transfers one's going to be very short.
Well, the season ticket deadline's Thursday, so Levy's going to be dropping out all these big name transfers.
Oh yeah, here we go.
This week will be all the big names dropping, won't it?
Monday morning.
Nagel's going to be linked again, and
Pele's coming out.
Mark's Day.
Maradona's coming up. Yeah.
Messi, Tottenham.
Messi. That'll be it. Has Messi to Tottenham. Messi to Tottenham.
Transfer, he's coming.
The Pepsi link from Beyonce, because she sponsors the Pepsi can and he does, so there's a link there and there. It'll be Messi. Pepsi are going to buy this, sponsor the stadium, and Messi's going to be coming as part of the deal.
I don't think Chick King to sponsor our stadium.
Sorry?
Chick King.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Definitely.
Honestly, their chicken's so good.
It is.
Actually, it's my favourite fried chicken place by a mile.
It is pretty bloody magnificent.
Clip that.
Link to everybody, signing nobody. Very true, Alan. Again, thank you very much for joining.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to hang around and we'll have a chat in the back room. Otherwise, I shall bid you a lovely Sunday.
I've got to go, but good to see everybody.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And,
good luck with the move, Simon. Yeah, by the time we speak again, you might have moved.
Leave it out.
Leave
it out.
Leave it out.
Leave it out, as Brian does.
All right, guys. Turn up.